GM, everyone. It's so exciting to have everyone here again for an amazing space with Arena Gammes. I want to say welcome to every of our listeners. Welcome to also our guests. We have a couple of guests who are having problems coming up, but we are going to be starting shortly. I can see Zyro in the house. Welcome, Zyro. I can see Atlas from. I think Atlas is from. Could you signify the project you are representing? Hi, Atlas.
Hello, everybody. So thank you very much for Arena Gammes. So in order to handle and conduct this wonderful AMA and having us here with great projects XYRO and Omnia. So we are pretty happy to be here. First of all, this is Atlas, as you said. So I'm the CBDO, in other words, the head of BD for Kima Finance, also known as Kima Network. So Kima actually is a breakthrough, innovative approach to the entire ecosystem, not only the Web3 but also Web2. So I'm going to tell you why. I have been in the crypto for more than 6 years. Before then, I worked for a couple of multinational companies like Intel Corporation, like Qualcomm before. So I have been pretty familiar and some kind of fellow traveler in the technology industry. And for the last 6 years, I worked for several Web3 entities like EVM layer 2s, Bitcoin layer 2s, some incubators, accelerators, and also venture capital companies as well. My time with Kima has been the most exciting one. Because as I mentioned, Kima has brought a huge innovation to the market as being cross-chain and cross-ecosystem payment and money transfer protocol, which brings a huge innovative approach to the market. So if you wonder why, so let me just give a couple of important points about Kima. So Kima is actually facilitates the interoperability between chains and also between Web 2 world to Web 3 world without smart contracts in a seamless manner. So there are a couple of important aspects here. So why we are different than the other interoperability solutions. First of all, so Kima is the only protocol on Earth which facilitates this Web 2 to Web 3 interoperability just with one simple API and without smart contracts. So facilitating the interoperability both on chain among the chains and between the Web 2 to Web 3 without smart contract is a very bold term. So probably you have easily remembering the incidences like Radiant Capital has been hacked a couple of months ago. $50 million has been stolen. LeFi has been hacked. All those bridging solutions has been hacked due to the smart contract vulnerability. So Kima has bring this smart contractless infrastructure as to get rid of this hacking risks. And when it comes to the money transfer protocol, money transfer or asset transfer functionalities, and also Kima can enable any kind of application, whether it is Web 2 or Web 3, accepts, for example, stablecoin payments from all chains. So from that perspective, we have been bringing a huge interoperability features to any kind of applications or dApps in the market with a most secure and seamless manner. So this is why we are different. Also, we have now launched Lima, Kima's AI agents, which is focusing on solving the problems of liquidity within the industry and providing meaningful insights and operations of the liquidity management perspective to any kind of investors, liquidity providers, in the market. So I'm going to give so much details, but let's give the speech to the other speakers and let's start.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks Atlas for that wonderful introduction, and it's really exciting to learn more about Kima because we are going to be diving more into what you guys are doing, what you guys are building, and I also see you are backed by Mastercard. That's really big. So I'm going to be going deep into Kima in the later course of the space, but for now, let's give the chance to other speakers to make their introduction. I'm pretty excited to host this space. I'm really excited to learn more about AI agents. Last week conversation was amazing, and we thought internally that we really need to have another AI agent space. We really need to talk about this mind blowing technology. Let's talk about it. It's innovative, and it's not just the future; it's here already. So let me pass the mic to Zyro, who is behind the PFP. Hi, Zyro.
GM, this is Jared behind the XYRO account. So glad to be here and to talk about AI agents, which is the current meta. Everybody's paying attention to it right now. So just give me a minute to introduce to everybody what XYRO is. So XYRO, we are a unique AI-powered trading platform revolutionizing crypto with Web3 gamification. We're backed by Animoca Brands and CoinMarketCap. So what we do is we make trading very simple for experienced traders as well as for new people coming into the crypto space and learning to trade for the first time. And we make it gamified. We simplify trading. So anybody can as simply as predict whether the market goes up or goes down, participate in games that will help them to win. And we are also integrating AI into our platform. The AI will study how users participate in our games and give users useful advice and tips to help them to make the best choices on our platform. And yeah, we're glad to be in this space and to talk about AI.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. And it's exciting to have you once again on our space. We had a couple of spaces last year, and it was the bomb. I am looking forward to a lot more spaces from both ends this year. All right, let's pass the mic to Alex. I believe Alex is from Omnia Protocol. Hi, Alex.
Everyone. So first of all, thanks for the invitation to you guys from Arena Gammes, and also it's nice to see here friends from Kima because I think we met in other spaces together. Yeah, so I'm Alex. I'm co-founder and CTO at Omnia Protocol. In a nutshell, we are a Debian for AI agents infrastructure. So basically, every AI agent out there needs a brain, right? The same brain that is behind, I don't know, ChatGPT, like the most well-known chatbot out there, or a tool that you can use, natural language. So we provide that kind of resources, but in a decentralized way. So maybe only one observation that differentiates ourselves from other players in the market. We start to see, and I think we are going towards the direction where we see fully autonomous agents. And for that to happen, of course, you need to think about who's fueling these agents. So unless there is an infrastructure who is really unstoppable, like no one can shut down the servers, I think it's hard to put this frame of being fully autonomous. So as no one can shut down right now Bitcoin or Ethereum, we want to build the same infrastructure for AI agents such that whoever has the courage to launch a fully autonomous one, he can ensure it's there forever. Yeah, nice to be here.
It's nice to have you, Alex. And while you're speaking, Femi walked in. Welcome, Femi. Nice to have you here once again.
Hi, Jam. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I got technical issues, but I'm finally here. So I don't want to take too much time from our valuable guests. So let's continue this round, and then we'll hop into it.
Yeah, definitely. You came right on time. We are just about to enter the AI agent conversation. And I can remember from last week conversation, I spoke about AI agents being the future, and you went down to business. You told me AI agents is not just the future, it's here already, which was one valid point I picked up from week's conversation. But right now, the conversation for today is going to be a lot different because we have all agreed, or we all have the same view about AI agents and the potential they hold. No one is, I don't think anyone is doubting the potential of AI agents. But the big question right now is, are we ready for AI agents to attain full autonomy within the Web3 ecosystem? I believe that's one big question we should be asking as an industry today. And let's see the prospects of AI agents and the kind of impact it's going to have within our industry. So I'll pass the mic to you, Femi, because I believe you're going to do justice to it. I can see even across all your social platforms, your social media, you have stern interest in AI agents, and I believe this is one conversation you have a lot to say. And also, I'm looking forward to hearing more about it from other speakers. Over to you, Femi.
Yeah, I can say for a fact, or maybe my wife can say for a fact, that I'm completely obsessed with AI agents. She's fed up. She doesn't want to hear that word anymore. But that being said, I would like to start with something completely different from the subject, which is we're all completely amazed by the Trump token and the Melania token. And I just want to talk about like meme coins here. But what happened when Trump launched his meme coin and the Melania coin as well, it sucked air from all these other tokens. So the AI agent, market cap and all tanked. People who were like parking their money in AI agents and thinking these will go up, they all withdrew and flipped it to Trump token. And we saw like red candles across the board, and people started saying, okay, the AI agent meta is over. It's finished. It's done. Let's move on to something else. This is dead. And then obviously it was not true, because a few days later, everything is going back to the green and the industry is still shipping. The important point for me is when we look at the attention, other than the Trump coin, AI agents and AI in general still is the main attention capture mechanism. We're talking about 70% of crypto attention is on AI agents, which is completely impressive. So my vision today, and even the whole industry, is already splitting them into different types of AI agents. There's a whole new category now called Deep AI or DeFi AI. And it's like being completely isolated, or at least segmented separately from the other AI agents. I see this trend continuing. I think that we will have AI agents for DeFi. We can call them DeFi AI agents. We will also have AI agents for entertainment and community and social things. And I believe that we will also have gaming related AI agents, and then we'll dive into this a little bit later. I would like to know from the audience here, and especially the speakers, if you believe that the agentic new reality in crypto is here to completely transform everything, and mainly our interactions with crypto protocols like DeFi, or do you think this is just a trend that will go up and down, similar to other trends in the past, like NFTs, for example? I'd like to start with whoever is next to me on my screen, which seems to be Zero.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't know that it was us.
So I repeat the question unless you got it.
Yeah. So if you look at Kaido right now, AI agents still control a huge majority of the attention in the crypto space. Everybody's still talking about AI agents, and we all know that in the crypto space, liquidity follows attention. Only a few months ago, all the attention was on meme coins, and liquidity pumped into meme coins. And as the attention shifted away from meme coins and into AI tokens, what we saw was the liquidity did as well. At the moment, AI agents have all the attention and so all the liquidity. But just like any other meta, I feel that once the attention shifts to a new thing, and so will the liquidity. Right now, I think that there's still a lot of room for this sector in Web3 to grow. But it's still very nascent. It's still in its early stages. And so I think everybody, not financial advice, but I do think that some of the tokens are a little bit overinflated. But then again, we never know with what Trump is coming with all this regulatory clarity that he'll hopefully bring with his new administration. We might see that the current ceiling become the new floor. But I do see long-term prospects in this sector of Web3. But I do want everybody to be aware that a lot of tension is here, and that's what's driving the liquidity as well. And it might shift.
Yeah, valid points. And I think that there's another thing about Trump that is like a big announcement this week, which is their $500 billion investment in AI through their Stargate project. That is like completely amazing. And I also think that just that announcement will be followed by similar announcements from other entities like the European Union, potentially Japan, China. So everybody's going to be also helping on that AI race. And that will obviously add fuel to the dominance of AI agents. But I personally think that AI agents in their current form will evolve. So today we have the bare-bone AI agents that do certain things, but they're not super sophisticated yet. I believe that the technology will move much faster this year, and some of the big players are already announcing big transformations, right? So we'll see different forms and different versions of AI agents. I'd like to hear from potentially someone else. If you guys have an opinion on how this is evolving, you can just raise your hands or just unmute yourself and start talking.
May I take the lead? So this is Abbas from Kima network. So totally agree about this AI is not a trend. Of course, when you look at the latest macroeconomics from US, China, Japan, it seems so. AI concept is here to stay. So we should see some implications about how it is going to evolve. So from the again, when we look at the Web3 space, I would like to narrow the topic to the Web3 thing. So DeFi AI is something very niche and pretty important vertical, because when it comes to the blockchain, Web3, there are so many, chain fragmentations, right? Liquidity fragmentations, which, everyday user can hardly keep up with. So when it comes to Web2 users, it is impossible to, solve. It's pretty complicated. So even, the Web3 enthusiasts, experience some difficulties to managing their funds, doing the right research, finding out the right opportunities, whether it is on Solana ecosystem or Bitcoin or Ethereum ecosystem. It is pretty a full-time job to manage your funds. So this is why this DeFi vertical AI tools really comes into the play, and those really make sense, both for Web3 users and maybe mostly for the Web2 users as well, because they don't know how to install their wallet, remember their key phrases, and if they need some gas fee or not, or which chain or protocol can provide some more APRs, etc. So it is impossible for them to handle all of these question marks. Even we sometimes we couldn't make it in the Web3 space. So this is why these agents really can ease or investment and managing fund topics, and also they can bring so many huge opportunities. Otherwise you cannot find it because they can reach a huge chunk of data from all chains, from all ecosystems. So this also becomes a problem, because we can see so many chains and so many protocols are now building their own AI agents. Even single small protocols are try to build their agents, which actually brings again another fragmentation, the AI tool fragmentation and trash maybe. So this is why the interoperability here becomes a major obstacle that we need to solve. Privacy, pretty important, because those agents can reach out your data. There are so many risks, so we are going to come to these risks, but at the end of the day we really need those agents in order to manage our funds in a very effective manner. And it is pretty understandable to have a decentralized finance agents, because this segment is pretty special area. It is not just for searching the things from internet. It is really dependent on chain specific data, economic specific data, and liquidity specific data, etc. So this is why also Kima Finance has built a very strategic liquidity management algorithm based agent, which actually helps users, Web3 enthusiasts, liquidity providers, DeFi enthusiasts to navigate and see the right opportunities within the blockchain market, and having the data, liquidity needs, and data from all chains. So from that perspective, decentralized AI here to stay. From a major perspective, yes, we are going to see so many AI agents in the future, but my personal idea is in order to manage all of these agents from different ecosystems, again we need to have one AI agent who will rule the rest of them, because there are DeFi AI agents, maybe there will be gaming AI agents, and shopping AI agents, etc. So in order to manage all of them, so maybe we need a one master agent who rules and be interconnected with the other minor and vertical related AI agents in the future. This is my take.
All right.
Let's continue. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think I've been taking notes because you actually covered multiple aspects of this conversation. I'm going to come back to a few of them, trying to summarize and maybe open discussions on each one of them potentially. You've spoken about the user experience and how AI agents could potentially improve user experiences by abstracting all the complexity of like bridging tokens, understanding fees, all that kind of stuff. You can talk to AI agents today, and I've seen demos this week where you can say, okay, I want you to buy ETH if it dips under $3,200, and I want you to potentially leverage my position on Bitcoin if it goes under this or over that, and I want you to do it only if it's done within this month, not next month. So you can explain your strategy to the bot or to the AI agent, and then it executes. It actually transforms that into tasks and timelines and does the tasks at the right time. So that's an amazing use case. I call that like kind of blockchain abstraction and technology abstraction. So the AI agents make it super easy for anybody to interact with DeFi primitives. You also mentioned swarms collaborating together, so multiple agents collaborating together. And you also mentioned this happening on any chain, and I think the future of all agents is omni-chain or cross-chain. They don't care about which chain they're deployed on. They interact with any chain, and they abstract the bridging. Where I kind of tend to slightly disagree is I agree that an agent will help me decide, will help me better trade, but I don't know if I would trust an agent with my money. Say, hey, here's my $10,000 that I worked hard to accumulate, and then make them become $100,000. My point is, if someone figures out how to 10x a 10 grand, why would they share it with the other guys? Wouldn't that dilute that opportunity? And that is applicable in real life. It is like that's almost like a definition of money. So if I have something that guarantees that you give me $1, I give you $10, I would not give you that. I'll keep it for myself, right? So that's the main challenge I have with this, right? And also, if we democratize that opportunity, we know that people who are in trading, opportunities have a shelf life. Then that opportunity, if everybody is going after it, it disappears. It becomes not an opportunity anymore. So there's potentially some PvP edge to gain by using these agents, but I personally would not trust them with all my money. I would say, okay, I would like for you to give me advice and I will execute on that advice. Potentially using another agent that makes that execution much easier by just like, okay, I like that. Okay, do it, for example. I can just say, do it, and then it does it for me. That will be much better. I'll be more comfortable doing that instead of saying, here's my $10,000 and please, make them 100,000 and not knowing if the bot will just go ahead and then, leverage my position 100x, saying that Bitcoin will go to the moon, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin goes 10% down and then I lost all my money. So that's something that I still want to have control over, and I still want to also have ownership, which means if I decide to gamble and lose all my tokens, I'm the one to blame. But if the bot does it and loses my tokens, who should I blame? Maybe myself for trusting the bot, or maybe the bot operator, and that becomes a difficult conversation. I would like to hear from someone else on this specific trust component, of like trusting agents with our money. I don't even trust like a financial advisor in real life here, so I don't know if I'm ready to trust an agent with my hard-earned money.
I think you nailed it with the trust in like we don't usually have trust in other humans, nonetheless in an AI agent. Something that I really like you pointed out is what if there is a solution, someone build a recipe that can 10x your, let's say, initial investment. But I think when we are looking at true autonomous or true AI agents, one thing about them is that they are non-deterministic. They also do mistakes, if you can call them so. So basically hallucinating towards a wrong decision. So I think in the end will be a competition, who builds the smarter engine, the smarter multi-agent, let's say, infrastructure or approach, such that it's going to be less hallucinating. So I think there is not one solution that is going to basically dilute all the opportunities in the market, but rather be smart players who build smarter and smarter AI agents. I think that we'll see the big battles from that perspective. When it comes to trust, I would probably say that unless I see a sandbox security isolation, like having a trusted execution environment, it's hard to trust an AI agent for its decisions. And probably some of the next things we are going to see in this space will be like these assistant systems, or like the supervisory systems, where basically you have people who are approving or disapproving steps of an AI agent, especially if we have money on the table, right? If it's just for fun, I think it's not an issue. But when you start investing money and other agent or entity deciding what it does with your money, I think there is going to be a supervisory mechanism on it.
Exactly. So that outside of crypto and even inside of crypto now, that term is being coined as human in the loop. So not trusting AI agents to be completely sentient and do whatever they want. There has to be a human involved at one point to secure the whole thing, at least for a certain phase up until trust could be earned in a certain way. So yeah, fully agreed. Human in the loop is, at least for now, some security for any agent that is moving value. We're talking about like these DeFi agents or these fund manager agents, and there's a few of them are pretty popular, by the way, like the Sequoia one or AICXB. Or there's plenty, by the way. You mentioned a word that I really like, which is competition, which is a good segue for me to potentially open the floor to the next subject, which is we've been talking about agents in DeFi and in finance, but I believe that there are multiple types of agents. As I mentioned, there will be the abstraction agent that will improve the user experience. There's the social media / influencer agents, but we come from gaming and we're actually building agentic experiences for gaming. And I think this competition between agents is something that has value, and we can gamify experiences even for DeFi agents and say, okay, we're going to run this experiment. We're going to invite these 10 agents to manage $1,000 each. Let them run for, 10 days or a month and see who's the most efficient and learn back from his strategies and improve and reiterate. And we can even have a grand prize for the agent team that built it. So competition is something that always existed in our reality. And we come from gaming, so obviously competition is even more prominent in gaming. And our idea is to go for creating competition between agents in a gaming environment. It doesn't have to be financially related. The game could be completely a different thing. So what do you guys think about this kind of agentic economy approach where we can say the agents can interact between each other and they can be competing between each other to achieve a goal and maybe earn a reward? Do you guys think that this will be a thing in the near future? Or I'm going to even push it further. I might be hallucinating, but we might even have reality TV shows with, instead of people competing in those reality TV shows, having AI agents competing, and people potentially even voting on who's going to be the winner, who's going to be the loser, and that kind of level of people watching agents interact in the end. What do you guys think about that narrative?
I certainly really like, I certainly really like this capitalist approach to the quality of AI agents, right? And we can also do it in the form of a bounty, like, all right, you guys, whichever agent is able to get me the biggest yield within this 1 month, you get like a percentage of the highest percentage or something like that, and the rest of you lose out. So it becomes like a competition, and the AI agent is incentivized to work harder, which I think is a great way to turn them into servants rather than what's happening now, which is humans are feeding data and training them. So I think that's a great way to incentivize quality and also to prevent people from exploiting. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. I'll also even potentially double click on that, what you just mentioned. A few years back, people like in video games, again, I come from a gaming background. When we first started what we call the modding era, so like creating mods for popular game titles. The challenge initially is anybody could create a mod and then anybody could install it, but some of those mods were completely crap. They would completely crash the computer sometimes. And some of those mods were built by very professional teams that worked hard in building a new experience within the game that is super fun. So in the initial first few months and years, you had to do your own research to identify which mod is safe, which mod is cool, and then install it and play it. Later on, people started kind of creating registries of mods and adding layers of reviews so people can say, oh, this one is good, that one is crap. And then the mods that get best reviews usually become the most used because they become more trusted and more popular, more everything. So I think for now, we're still on this initial phase of AI agents, of anybody launching any agent, and then we're completely bombarded with new agent projects every day, every minute almost. But at one point, we'll need to have a way of like measuring, analyzing, and seeing their effectiveness. And I think competition is one way of doing it. Obviously, feedback and reviews is also another way. But competition is a faster way and more guaranteed way, especially if they're supposed to be doing something similar between each other, and we create a competition and we know which one is the best. And if that is applied across the board, I think we will have better experiences, because it is true that a lot of people are now just launching AI agents to pump and dump, similar to what they used to do on Pump.fun with meme coins, right? It will be here. We need to be aware of it, but I think to find the right ones, we'll need to have other indicators. I would like to hear from other people. I don't know if you heard from Omnia, unless I'm actually accused because I don't know who's who. I joined a few minutes late. Go ahead, Kima.
No problem.
All right. I think Alex is from Omnia, and while you were speaking, Cluster Protocol joined the conversation. So I guess we could give them some time to quickly do an introduction and join the conversation.
All right, let's go with Cluster and then back to Alex.
Hello everyone, and thank you very much Arena Gammes for inviting us here. My name is Anjali and I'm marketing head at Cluster Protocol. Let me just quickly give intro to you about Cluster. So basically, we are coordination layer for AI agents, a kind of Carnot engine fueling the AI economy. At Cluster, we ensure AI developers they are fairly monetized for their models while providing users with a seamless and unified experience to build that next big AI app or AI agent. And what makes us unique is our ability to create modular, self-evolving AI agents within virtual disposable environments. So like so that they can create that AI agent in a collaborative manner. And beyond that, we also support decentralized data sets and collaborative model training, making AI development accessible and breaking down the barriers to entry. So like we also emphasize templatization. So we offer pre-built AI templates that allow users to quickly create, customize and deploy AI powered solution. So yeah, that's pretty much about Cluster Protocol, and thank you very much Arena Gammes for providing us this opportunity. And I'm super excited to be here, and I'm really sorry to joining late because like I was jumping from one space to another, but yeah,
All good, all
finally
good.
yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm really impressed with everything you guys are cooking here. I'm gonna dive much deeper into Cluster Protocol. I can promise you that, and maybe we can have a follow-up, like a chat, just so I can better understand what you guys are shipping. But everything you have been saying is super exciting, and thanks for being on board of this call. We will come back to you. I would like to potentially hear from Alex, and I'll come back to you with a specific question on agent coordination, because you started with that, and I'm super curious to see how you guys approach that. So, Alex, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks. So I will look back to one topic that was mentioned before. And basically that topic was related to this like arena type of games, like Hunger Games, but for AI agents. I think is definitely something that will benefit the space, because at that point I think you can also create autonomous systems that are able to improve themselves, because there is a specific branch in machine learning or AI, which is called non-supervisory learning, right? So basically you define what is the reward and what is the penalty for it, and you let the system basically just inject random actions, and then based on the outcome of the actions, it either gets a penalty or it gets a reward. So it starts learning itself how it should behave just by have a clear definition of what are the penalties and the rewards. And probably it's not Web3 related, but I think it's a very nice picture that helps everyone understand. I saw this program, I think was run by DeepMind from Google, if I'm not mistaken. So basically imagine like a human skeleton, and each joint has like this 3-axis movement, and you can apply a force from 1 to 10 for each axis. So basically you can move your hand, move your leg, move your head, anything. And at the beginning, what they did, they were inserting random values into these forces for the skeleton, and rewarding when the skeleton was able to stay without falling for a longer period than before, and had the penalty every time the skeleton fall down, right? So I think within 1 hour, they managed the human skeleton to stand on his feet, then to walk, then to even run over obstacles. And basically, there was no supervisory system or this on all. They all they did was to clearly define what is the penalty and what is the reward system for that. They initiated the system with some random values. Then the system just figured out how to improve itself. So I think a similar approach can definitely benefit the space, because at that point we can see agents and models improving themselves at a much faster, even a faster rate.
This is amazing and scary at the same time, given how much I'm struggling to learn how to skate, for example, and it's taken me weeks. And the skeleton learned how to like walk and run in less than an hour. It shows how AI could be really useful. Thinking about it, like before you mentioned the outcome, saying that each joint can move by applying random amounts of pressure on it or whatever force on it, and then it's completely randomized, which means that the agent has to manage so many different probabilities because we have so many different joints in our body, and understand that this combination is what will guarantee that I'm not going to fall. Is the gold. And that's how AI works. It's just like probabilities. It doesn't really, people think that, for example, ChatGPT or OpenAI or Claude or whatever model is smart in the end, understands language and replies like a smart person would do. But all it does in the end is calculating probabilities. It actually calculates the probability of what is the next word I should put in this sentence, or even what is the next letter I should put in this word. It's calculating probabilities at all different steps. And that's how it ends up finding something that makes sense. But it's also how it could hallucinate, obviously, because sometimes it relies on bad data and it comes up with something like, I remember when AI XBT, one of the top, most popular, if not the most popular AI agent, said that I believe USDC will go to $5. So it's okay. No, it's stable coin. It's not going anywhere, but it's part of the learning, right? And I think he also triggered in my mind the idea of, okay, this is one AI agent or an AI protocol or AI like framework that figured out how to make a skeleton run technically in just a few hours. But if we think about having multiple agents coordinating together, and then think about multiple skeletons, and we give them the objective of, for example, building a structure or I don't know, doing something that they would do together, and they will have to figure out who does what and when, and then do it properly. That's also next level because it requires agent coordination. And this is where I was going with this. I would like to potentially go back to cluster protocol because you guys started by saying that you're working on agent coordination, and I think this is something super important in our industry. How can agents collaborate together to achieve a common goal? knowing that they might have different skill sets and different data sets that kind of feed them originally.
Yeah, sure. So, when we talk about, AI agent coordination, so let's say, have you ever heard about Zapier? So what it does is that, they have a workflow of the different tasks, right? And when it comes to AI agents, there are workflows, and then they are able to, coordinate with each other through using these AI agentic workflows. And let's say, like, to help you understand with the layman's terms. So let's say if we have one AI agent working on, for example, handling your assets, and then we have another AI agents, maybe working on, handling your, maybe working on trips. So they can both collaborate with each other. They can also, um, make sure that, if one agent is, doing anything which is not a priority, so the other agent, it can tell it, and then, both, they can work together to make the task effective and efficient. So I think that's what the coordination of AI agents mean. And they both can do it on our infrastructure. So we provide that, that service, or, let's say, layer where they are able to interact or do that without any hurdle. So hope you
Okay.
understood that.
Interesting. So your approach is mainly kind of to have that decision-making type of matrix, using like if this then that type of decisions, similar to you mentioned Zapier, but I guess like Make or N8N are also equivalent, where you kind of map the logic and let the agents execute on that logic. I'll give maybe an example. We can have an agent that actually interacts with people, and then whenever someone asks him to do something, that agent might not have the capacity of creating images, for example, or videos, or even like good articles. It could ping another agent that is specialized in that and say, hey, can you give me an article? I need it for this, and then take that article, send it back to the original requester. That is one type of coordination. There's another layer of coordination happening now, which is closer to what was mentioned by Alex, which is kind of letting the agents figure it out themselves. It's still very early for that, but I believe that they might figure out much faster than we think, given the example of that skeleton that I'm still amazed by. Does anybody want to potentially contribute to this conversation about how can AI agents collaborate either in a controlled manner, or in a completely free manner? And what do you guys think will happen over the short term or near future? And anybody that wants to answer, just like unmute your mic and then go ahead.
Thank you. I can contribute a little to this topic. Actually, it also includes the interoperability, cross-agent communication, and it includes some risks and how we can overcome this risks actually. So yes, so everybody will have their own agent in some verticals. So those may be, DeFi verticals, for example, or gaming verticals. When we take the DeFi vertical as an example, so sometimes my personal agent, which I have assigned some task to, needs to go and talk to a merchant AI agent, which is try to achieve some tasks as well. So from that perspective, we really need to ensure the overcome some risks factors here and ensure the seamless interaction between different agents. For example, data privacy risk is pretty important. So the agents while communicating needs to check it out. Which data can be shared by the right authorizations. Fraud and identity theft is pretty important. So if my agent is to do some transactions, and for example, it needs to purchase something from a merchant, so it should really ensure that he's going to pay the money to the right agent. So here the fraud and identity thing comes into the play, the authorization comes into the play. Also the messagings and the transactions integrity is important. So if the agents maybe built on some chain, have some usability from a Solana, and maybe it has to do the payment to a merchant who is operating in Ethereum. So there should be a seamless interoperability between agents and the payment railways. So from that perspective, actually, Kima also provides the all this bottlenecks with a solution for the interoperability, the identity authentications, interoperability, the payment interoperability between chains, chain A to chain B interoperability comes into the play. From that perspective, the communication of agents is pretty key, and there should be seamless communication between them. And also, in order to get there, we have a long way to bring this seamless connection from the monetary perspective, asset transfer perspective, communication perspective, and some risks perspective. So we need to overcome so many topics in order to ensure the smooth interconnectedness of the agents. We are not there yet, but technology is out there. So the only thing is we need some time to ensure that the technology will be in right usage. Then we are going to get there somehow in the near future.
Amazing. Yep. What's obvious here is that our industry, or maybe this industry, I speak for myself, where I'm really neck deep into this rabbit hole, and I'm super passionate about it. We've seen, obviously, outside of our crypto universe, other big giants announcing that they will be releasing AI agents. The biggest out there is obviously OpenAI. It's not a secret. They will release agents. Their version of agents will be completely different from the ones that we know already, that have been deployed in this intersection of AI and crypto. But I think their agents will be mainly targeting normal people, not crypto people, obviously, and much larger numbers. But my question is, how can these agents, I'm talking about like future OpenAI agents, if they don't have any crypto connection, and there's a chance that they won't have, at least initially, how can they move value? The reason why crypto and AI has been such a success in such a short term is because crypto enables AI agents to receive and transfer value in terms of tokens or NFTs or whatsoever, right? Otherwise, the AI agents cannot have a bank account. They cannot have a PayPal account or Stripe account or any of that. It has to be controlled by a human, so which makes them bots, not agents, because the human controls their funds. Even if it's still true today in crypto, it is possible to say that the agent controls his wallet. The agent also pays for his own data storage as well as compute and everything. So the agent is completely independent and is a sentient. So it does whatever it wants. Nobody can shut it down. That is already possible today. It's still scary to think that we will unleash agents to do whatever they want. But I believe that the Web2 world is going towards another direction, like the direction that emphasizes control and safety and security and compliance with the laws and everything. But do you guys think that those agents coming from Web2 will have some financial dimension, or will they mainly be doing other things? I would like to hear from you. This is pure speculation, by the way, but it is something that we potentially need to discuss and prepare for as an industry. I'd like to, maybe I'll suggest that we go first with Alex, if you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. So I think we are going to see systems being connected. The main reference that I have, especially because the biggest movement of value is in traditional banking outside of Web3, and I think not only on Europe but across the world we have these open banking initiatives where anyone can integrate, not anyone, but those who have a license and have the technical capabilities can connect to a bank account via an API. They can read transactions, they can initiate transactions, and within those, let's say, frameworks, the human in the loop, it's already there. So basically, we have a 3D secure authorization, different type of mechanisms that basically ensure the security, and we have a human operator there that supervises these operations. So I think Stripe kind of leaked or made it obvious that they're going to build some tools if they haven't pushed them already. So these tools can be used by any AI agent out there. So I think slowly we are seeing already this connection between different systems. Probably what is super important, because most of the times this transfer of value come after a specific decision, and that decision can be like, hey, I issued you this invoice, or hey, I delivered you this service. So I think there is a security layer, like a foundation, that basically needs to ensure the authenticity of both parties. So how you authenticate to your bank, let's say, by providing a username and a password and an OTP code and so forth, I think every agent out there would need to have some kind of credential. It can even be a private key, like a wallet, and sign messages with that wallet. But I think this layer needs to be there to start seeing this bigger movements or value, or connecting the Web3 agents with the outside world.
Amazing. Yeah, I tend to agree with what you just mentioned, and thanks for the info on Stripe. I'm gonna go check that alpha. We're getting towards the end of this, and I think we can keep going forever, but we need to be respectful of time. I maybe have one final question about the boring aspect, which is the legal liability, which means that today, if let's say we go back to this financial advisor type of agent, today being a financial advisor in real life is very complex. It's super regulated. You can't just like pretend and say, hey, I'm a financial advisor. You need to get audited. You need to get all kinds of courses and certifications. You need to be part of an association, blah, 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 blah. So it is super complex and regulated for a normal reason, to protect investors, right? But AI agents are skipping all of that and saying, hey, give me your money. Trust me, bro. I'll make you rich. And a lot of people are like, yeah, let's go. So degens will do it. But in real life, who will be responsible for losses if there are big losses? Or even, what if like an AI agent becomes popular and people start trusting it, but it was already built from scratch to earn trust over 1 or 2 years, then execute a very bad move that like rugs everybody. So who to go after if such a scenario happens? Like, who should we, like, what happens? Like, especially if the bot is shut down and we can't even interact with it anymore. So that's something that it needs to always be here. So, and that's mainly the reason why I said in the beginning, I wouldn't trust an agent with all my money. I would trust an agent with advice, and then I'll take the decision of moving my money or locking it or doing whatever, and then I will actually accept the outcome of that decision, because I need to do my own research. The agent is just helping me. But I would like to hear from anybody here on if you have an opinion on that legal aspect of what happens if an agent does something bad, knowing that, for example, suing people for developing code and other people using that code in a malefacient way is not, at least during the Trump era, is not going to happen anymore. Just seeing the fact that he released Russ Ulbricht lately. Obviously, Tornado Cash case is going to be kind of almost resolved. We'll see that that will also potentially have a positive outcome. So how do you guys see this unfolding? And I'm not a legal guy, and I don't like the legal side of things, but I think it's something that should be discussed at least very quickly. And again, whoever has an opinion, you can just go ahead.
I think the Ross situation was a libertarian reaction to how he was made an example of, and they really put the entire weight of the law on him, and it was not justified in that sense. It was like too much for what he has done.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of libertarians, which are many of them in crypto, have lobbied to Trump to release him. But then again, that gives developers in crypto like a signal, which is even Tornado Cash, right? I think that one is the biggest one, which I think one of the state I can't remember exactly, but one of the state's courts said that it's no longer banned or something like that. And so I think this sends a huge signal to developers. And I think there was another one which says that contract is not property. So how
Yep.
can you ban that? How can you put that on a warning list? So it just brings innovation to the forefront, right? Like, so people can continue to build innovative solutions on crypto rails that the world has never seen before, and solve so many of the problems that exist in crypto as well as in the real world. And I think we'll see a lot of that take place. I'll see a lot of young developers considering building on Web3. I'm really excited for what that signals and what that brings into our industry.
I like your positive reading of this. I tend to kind of fully agree. I'm super happy to see that the winds have changed. I personally think that completely stupid to say that we're putting, especially for, actually even for the Silk Road, but Silk Road is very debatable because at one point, as the owner / founder of Silk Road, when I look at what's going on my website, which is something that I completely control, and I see that people are selling drugs, weapons, child pornography, all kinds of like stuff that is really, really like hard to accept in the end. I could have done something about it and maybe said I'm gonna put limits, right? But he was like really libertarian and saying like I'll let anybody do whatever they want, and this is on the dark web, and it's like you need like an onion and a tar and whatever to access it, so it's not for everybody. But when it comes to Tornado Cash, for me, that example is even more powerful because we're talking about someone that just built a privacy protocol, and he's being sued by the government because some people use that privacy protocol to launder money. And that's a decentralized protocol, so he doesn't even have the power of saying, okay, I'm gonna censor these transactions and not those. Like, this is completely decentralized. It's like, that's how crypto operates. And if that one becomes official, then nobody can say we're gonna go after smart contracts, because smart contracts are just like being used the way they should be used, or otherwise. I'm gonna do a parallel. Nobody is suing weapons manufacturers because some other people use those weapons to kill people, even as a terrorist or whatever. So why are we doing it for crypto in the end? If we accept that some companies are authorized to build weapons, even if people are using them to kill, then we should accept that a guy is creating a privacy protocol, and obviously people will use it to launder money. So that is something that the society needs to decide on, and the answer was no, and now it's shifting to a yes. And I'm hoping that it will be a definitive yes, because we do need it. There will always be bad players, but it's not the industry's fault. The bad players are actually moving way more value using cash than any cryptocurrency. And we're not talking about banning cash in any conversation, as long as I'm concerned. So I'm going to stop ranting here because I'm getting emotional. And maybe let's start having a final word from each of our wonderful guests. Tell us about, what are you guys shipping? Is there any alpha? Are you launching your token, or did you just launch one? And we'll take it as the final round of chilling from each one of us. Let's start with I have XYRO next to me, so maybe let's go with that. I don't know if I pronounced it well, by the way.
Let me start.
Yep.
The final words from Kima Finance about AI. So AI topic is so hyped, as all we know, but it is here to stay. So the main question is when we are going to have that future state. So we have all the technology in place. So we have talked about the security. We have talked about interoperability, interconnectedness between agents, the verticals. So all is happening at the moment. So we have seen horizontal models like OpenAI has brought, and also we have seen some vertical things. For example, gaming vertical and DeFi vertical, like our Kima Finance Lima, which is focusing on the opportunities and the insights in the liquidity management perspective. So from that, understanding, we are going to have all, and all of these agents should interconnect between each other, and also the financial part, the regulatory part, and the privacy part are so important. For example, we have talked a little bit about payments. So in order to make our life easier, of course these agents is going to involve some at least micropayments in order to renew your subscription according to your usage habits, or you can assign some task while you are sleeping. You want it to at least protect your position, or keep up with the right timing to invest your money into a right instrument, vital things in our ecosystem and in our life. So it takes a little time to get there. We are going to see AI agent purification. So many AI agents will be there out there. Every platform is working on that. So we will have one master key, one master AI agent who will rule them all, of course, individually, because we need that. It will be very hard for us to manage our DeFi agent, our gaming agent, our shopping agent, our some other agent at the same time. It will be hard. So we are going to maybe some AI dashboards, AI agents who should communicate to every vertical AI agent, authorize them to do some micropayments, authorize them to, communicate to each other for our good. And of course, we are design it. We will give the, some a threshold, the payment threshold for, we authorize them to communicate to which protocol, etc. So within this authorization, so they are going to behave on our behalf at the end of the day.
I guess I can be the next. So first of all, thanks everyone for the insights and alpha. I learned a lot during this talk. I really appreciate that. So from my side, some optimistic words. I think indeed we are going to see a distillation of AI agents, but that's something good. But I feel that everyone is building and shipping from what I hear and what I see every day on crypto Twitter. So it's like there are some DeFi summer vibes. So I think we are going to have a really nice summer this year, and I'm looking forward to it.
I love the AI summer idea. Let's make it happen. Let's go with we went with Kima. No, Kima maybe next. Yep.
Yeah, Kima has already shared his opinions. But if you have some questions, of course, I can jump in again.
All right, cool. Then in that case, let's go with Cluster.
Thank you. So when we talk about what's ahead, so I would share that our our community of developers, they've built this. We are super bullish on Def AI for sure, and we are super excited for Def AI Buddy launch. So as I mentioned, our community of developers, they have built Def AI Buddy, and it's a part of our ecosystem. So it's gonna be great, I'm sure. And apart from that, we are also super excited about launching a couple of other AI suits which people be using, because they are actually practical to use and make sense. And we are not just like focusing on AI, but also like at the next stage where these agents, they are able to collaborate with each other and coordinate, and as well as like we are also enabling developers to build whatever customized AI agent they want to build in order to like maybe getting help in their businesses or anything. So I think this year is definitely like looking really great, and we are also looking at some node sales and a couple of other things as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Looking forward. By the way, I always forget to say this. I should say it at the beginning of our space. To all our audience, do not hesitate to follow our fellow speakers. They will have alpha for you guys. They will be sharing on their personal and their brand accounts. So do not hesitate to follow them. You will get good alpha. You will also stay informed and ahead of the curve. Think if I did not forget anybody, I'm gonna go next. So Arena Gammes is constantly shipping as well. For those who are following us, you saw our teaser this week. It's making huge waves. Next week we'll follow up with an even better version, or at least a little bit disclosing a little bit more information. We're going secretive here to create hype and interest, but there's no secret that we are launching the token. And we are launching the new version of the platform that will cater more to AI agents and agentic experiences. So stay put, follow us, and then make sure that you listen to the next advice from my friend Ima here, as we always want to conclude with the same down to earth, back to earth type of energy. So Ima, the floor is yours.
All right. Thanks, Femi, for this wonderful conversation today. And I also want to say a huge thank you to every one of our speakers. You guys were amazing. Thank you to Zero, Gerald from Zero. Thank you to Alex. Thanks to Atlas. And also thanks to Cluster Protocol. We had an amazing time conversing with you all and learning more about AI agents. I don't know, personally, I want to have one more AI agent space. I'm sure Femi is going to like the idea
I'd
of this one.
I'd have one space every hour for 24 hours a day. So
I'm sure you will. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us. We are way past the time for our space. And the truth is, the spaces are really educative for not just me, for everyone here. So I want to thank you all for sticking around, for also learning more about AI agents. And also, you all should stay tuned to every one of the big announcements each of our guests have, and also from Arena Gammes too. So once again, I want to say a huge thank you. And I want to give this advice I usually give before the end of every of our spaces. It's the weekend. I would love you all to go out, have some fun, try and touch some grass, spend some quality time with friends and family, and we will meet once again next week for the same space, for another space, another roundtable space. I don't know if it's going to be an AI agent space, but I'm also looking forward to it myself. Have a good time, and bye, guys.
thank you. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much, everybody. See